for me it took 7 years to diagnose, sort of saying, why do I feel like I don't walk in a correct manner, which was the waddling gait, which is quite symptomatic of Pompe disease.
My son has a rare disorder called Fragile X syndrome. He was diagnosed when he was just over 3 years old. So Fragile X affects both females and males and has a prevalence of around 1 in 4,000.
I have Fabry disease, and I was diagnosed just over a decade ago, and it's been quite a journey for me so far. So most of that time I've been very healthy. I kind of do present as being very healthy and fit, but then of course I could be hospitalized tomorrow. So, it's sometimes difficult to convey that I'm not well when I, for all intents and purposes, look well.
It's really challenging and stressful and difficult for families. I'd really encourage GPs to listen to what families are saying, to what they're observing, to the differences they're seeing in the development of their child, and then to be seeking out knowledge around why that can be, doing screening for genetic conditions, exploring, because Fragile X and many disorders are genetic and inherited, sometimes maybe doing a little bit of an exploration around, are there any other things going on in the extended family?
Especially in this current COVID environment, I can guess, how incredibly stressful it must be. They've probably just seen another patient, and there's that patient's sort of thoughts and recommendations or whatever sort of going through their head. If someone is, repeating symptoms, or symptoms especially are seeming to get worse, I think that definitely warrants further investigation and really, really considering what the patient is saying.
People with a rare disorder are often seen as the exception. They're somewhat outside of the normal processes for treatment.
Once you get a diagnosis, it is such a weight lifted to know that it's not you, because it's horrible to feel that you might be going slightly crazy.
Diagnosis opens up so much in terms of avenues for as I said earlier, intervention, treatment, and supports. But not only that, it actually gives access to important things that things like support through the Ministry of Health Disability Support Services that you may not get without a diagnosis.
If you hear hoofbeats, think zebras, not horses. Think outside the box. You could really, really be helping a patient out by thinking outside the square.